Welcome to the Solbrick show here with me, Solbrick, and my new custom Lego city called Shrimp City. Why is it called Shrimp City? Well, we actually have real shrimps in an aquarium that's part of the layout, the harbor area.
It feels like you're forgetting something important.
Alright, and I mustn't forget my co-host Benny, who is some kind of a fish.
I'm a betta fish, and you're a betta man.
Okay, very funny, Benny. Shrimp City is going to be somewhat inspired by how I think New York is, but also a mix of other fun stuff. In New York, there's Little Italy, mamma mia, and I got this facade from an Overwatch set that feels very Italian. Another thing that feels very Italian is arches. The Overwatch set has a few of those, so that's going to be the design theme for Shrimp City's own Little Italy. So today's video will be kind of a starting point for the Italian part of Shrimp City and its train station, don't forget. If we start by looking at the area that's going to become Little Italy, we got a few challenges. The upper section of Shrimp City needs to connect to the lower one via this road. Since I'm using LEGO's newest road system, this is pretty easy to do. I've joined two road plates and mounted them on hinges to create a slope. It's a pretty steep hill, but I think it looks fun. Overall, I prefer a more toy-like look for my cities instead of realism. Another challenge is that it doesn't look great having this big open gap under the upper section, so we're going to start covering that up today. The slope has the same issue. That's why I have this wall section. I want the city to have a lived-in vibe, so I've made the wall quite uneven and used different pieces to reinforce that feeling. As mentioned, arches are a theme for this area. Personally, I like stickers, so these two big ones with some graffiti and posters really add to the slightly run-down atmosphere. We'll pop it into place. Instantly it gives the hill weight and volume, even though it's actually quite hollow inside. On the hill we'll place this nice car from Indiana Jones. I love that two people can sit in it at the same time. That's a play feature. But it has some trouble going down because this tank from Sluban, which is not Lego, is in the way. Shrimp City's military base will be a base for tanks. Maybe this one it's on its way to grab a pizza up at Pepe's. To the left of the slope, we'll put in this wall section full of arches and add this fence on top so people don't fall over the edge and die. That's a safety feature. Yeah, I know fences are woke, but walls are anti-woke, so it evens out. No need to be political about it, guys. Now, it's starting to look really nice and fun. In this corner we're going to have a beautiful Italian park, namely set 10359 Fountain Garden from 2025. The set isn't really meant to be minifig scale, but I think it totally works, especially as a smaller park. Let's add a few minifigs. See, it totally works. I made the back wall fairly uniform in color and without too many details, just so it doesn't distract from the garden's elegant white arches and other features. I think the wall helps emphasize the beauty of the garden. I don't want to modify the set since I might want to display it on a shelf later, so instead I'll just cover up the edges. In the corner near the slope I'll simply add these tiles. Not hard at all.
Something else that's not hard at all is to like and subscribe.
In front of the park or garden I want a little walkway, and I'm using my classic checkerboard pattern that I've used for over 20 years because I like the toy-like feeling and I think it looks good. Looking underneath we can see that the tiles are a bit loosely attached, but it's fine as long as no one starts jumping on them. The reason is that when we place the walkway the tiles rest partly on the tiles on the side of the garden. Let's add a hot doggy cart because people need to eat. Now we've created a situation similar to what we had under the upper section of Shrimp City, but on a smaller scale. That ugly open gap under the walkway. Don't worry, we'll cover it with this piece, which also has arches and a fence matching the larger wall in the background. And as you can see, we've got a staircase here on the side connecting the levels. Let's add a Sprite vending machine so people can stay hydrated and also consume way too much sugar, which will make them sick in the long run, but dentists richer. What's fun about this lower walkway is that it'll be kind of like a trench, because in front of it we'll have the platform for the train station, which looks like this. Since we're going to have a future road crossing over the track on this short straight section, we got no choice but to have a platform that follows the curve. But I think that's actually more visually interesting than a straight one. If you prefer straight platforms, don't worry, down in the subway system there will be plenty of those. Oh yeah, girlfriend. The platform design is pretty simple, mainly different plates, but also a wing piece here to get the right shape. The underside is quite hollow. We'll pop it into place. Let's start from the left and decorate the platform with various useful details. A yellow safety rail, a ticket machine, even though most people use apps these days, a passenger waiting for the train, an information sign attached to this wooden fence. Another rail here. This time I'm using brown fences for a bit of a variation and to visually separate the platform area from the rest of the city. This train station is really just a stop, not a full station, so there won't be a station building, just a small shelter to wait in when the weather's bad. We'll continue the arch theme with these pillars. That's how many European stations look. A bench to rest your butthole on while you wait, a trash can for all the negative comments, and a Cuba Cola vending machine. Now for the roof, it's built using the curved slopes that come with the road system. I really like their rounded shape, and that little squirrel on the roof, adorable. Let's pop in a few more passengers waiting for the train. They'll have to wait a while because I haven't built the city train yet. For now, this locomotive will pull an old passenger car, but later I want a shorter, cuter train that fits the platform better. Here on the side we'll add a few more tiles to tidy things up and prepare for the next part of Little Italy. Mamma mia, tuttarna kliar. Let's watch the train run for a bit because it's fun when things move. Cue some music. I hope you enjoyed this video. What did you think, Benny?
I think it turned out perfecto.
Grazie mille, bro. With that said, stay away from the nonsense, stay awesome, and please subscribe.